think one of the main problems that's going on and people misunderstanding uh, why why I want to like attack the traditions of philosophy is just because they're all made to be these big, important, grave concepts. Like you have to assume the law of cause and effect first before you even speak a sentence. It's this argument that there's certain, holy, basically, definitions and subjects that you're not supposed to play around with. And I think, the question of what is philosophy is kind of like the question of what is reality. There's a lot of meanings to that. And philosophy is one of these things that we've assigned things to it because, out of feelings. And it's really kind of always something that's at the edge, the forefront of thought in a certain area. It could be primitive, but then it's kind of whatever is the edge of how that subject is understood. It might be primitive, but it's the most advanced that those people have, their philosophy of math or of language. All right, so I think one of the things that it is, because of that though, is it's like the programming. It's the topic is programming the human mind, one's own mind, how to program your own mind, not other people. That's psychology. And one of the big problems is, as great as logic is, because remember, I really love logic. I mean, I'll sit down and play, logic games and read Lewis Carroll's logic texts and stuff. But is that, logic comes, mainstream logic is this truth functional system. It's based on statements that are true or false. Right? And I just think that's way, way too limiting. But first of all, truth functionality is better dealt with probabilistic approaches, I think, where a truth function actually could be doesn't have to be 0 or 1, it could be some fraction, get probabilistic or fuzzy logic. But more importantly is the fact that you don't just need truth statements, finding truths. Thinking's an active thing, you're doing something, it's an action. So like this indicational definition, that's like setting a variable or something. There's more than just checking for an equality or establishing an equality of truth or falsity, a Boolean. There's all kinds of values. Our brain has pattern matching circuitry built in. That's not going to be modeled with the truth function. Well, yeah, you can talk about whether the model is true or not. No model is true. Model's representational. It's how good of a model, how apt it is, how much it fits, how much it can be predicted, these kinds of issues. Those are not best simulated with infinite number of truth functions or esoteric kludges, just so we can hold on to this particular simplification. We need to think of philosophy and logic and concepts like cause and effect, just like programming languages. You don't want a crappy one, but it's possible to have more than one programming language. And then you start to see the similarities and you go, yeah, there's a meta language, something in common to these particular instances and attempts. But we ought to be playing with those. If somebody wants to play with the weird theory of cause and effect, I mean, it's either going to succeed or not. What's the worry? So anyway, cheers.